You're right guys, Gary back again. In this video we're going to have a look at how I painted this. It's the Hare Barkeep from the game Burrows Badgers, which I'm absolutely addicted to painting at the moment. For this model I used a combination of Citadel colours, so that's the contrast and the normal paint range, and a couple of colours from Instar paints, which is fast approaching one of my favourite paints to use. So let's have a look. As always, it's undercoated with standard Mechanicus Grey, and then I went over the fur areas with Corax White. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I've started to experiment with the different undercoats to work with contrast, and I quite like how the next colour looks over this. I then went over the fur with Basilicanum Grey. That's a really hard one for me to say, apparently. I quite like how it looks like a nice light grey fur colour to me, and that's what I was kind of going for on this character. Although I did go over the face a little bit more, just to dirty it up a bit. Once that was dry, I dry brushed all the fur with Vermin Lord Hide, just to add a bit of colour. As much as I like the grey, I wanted to try and just add a bit of something. I'm not quite sure what I was going for, but I think it came out quite well. And then give a little rub for luck. The tunic I went over with Mud Brown. It's a paint from Instar, and I'll admit straight away I over-thinned it, or I thinned it a bit too much. So I did have to go over this area a couple of times. And then I went over the cloth and his apron with ceramite white. I wanted to give a nice bright white to start with, because I'll be dirtying this up in a minute. After all the cloth's been done, I decided that with this one I was actually going to give a decent shot to the eyes. So I used a new brush. It's a Psycho from Army Painter, which is about 4 bristles wide and actually helped quite a bit. I went over the sleeves, or the cuffs of the sleeves, with Chocolate Brown, another paint from Instar. I was going for a very subdued paint scheme with this one, I realise now. And going over the wrist wraps with Black Templar contrast paint, mainly because I like how that comes out with white undercoat. I'm figuring he's a barkeeper, he's not really going to be that into fashion. Nice dull colours, any problems. If you had to dive over the bar, wouldn't be too much to replace. I wanted to try and add a bit of texture, a bit of colour to the inside of his ears, so I actually used the Magos contrast paint. That's Magos purple for that one. It didn't come out quite as bright as I wanted, but we'll get to that later. I then went over the medals on his chest with Mephiston red for the ribbons, and then thought to myself that maybe I should do something with his eyes, so I went over the whites of his eyes with Caribou Crimson, but we'll come back to his eyes in a bit. I went from a standard apothecary white for the apron and the dishcloth, because I've said it before, I like how the apothecary white adds detail to white cloth, which to start with I thought looked really nice. And then I decided to Agrax Earthshade, thinned it down a little bit to go over the tunic for the details, and then about halfway through this I thought, maybe I should do something else with the apron and the cloth. So I think it's in a second. Yep, just went straight over the white. So it's now white, apothecary white, and Agrax Earthshade, which I think actually came out quite nicely, in my opinion. And now, oh yeah, the heart attack moment. This is the first time I've actually tried doing eyes properly. With the Hound, they didn't come out so great, but using the Psycho Brush, I was actually able to give it nice red pupils. That's Mephiston red. I like how the pupils came out of this one. And obviously he's got a wooden leg, so there's only one colour for wood as far as I'm concerned, and that's Contrast Wildwood. Which was quite nice. And then I realised he actually does have a little leather pouch behind his apron, so Snakebite Leather took care of that one. And then I started working on a tankard, and I actually used Grey Knight Steel for this one because I like sort of the bluey steel colouring. And I figured that this guy, I've named this guy Old Red Eye for obvious reasons, but I figured that he'd be the sort of person who'd take care of his bar, look after his pub. Obviously all of his cups would be in pristine condition. And then I finished up painting the medals on his chest. On one medal I used Retributor armour, so a nice golden colour, and on the other I used Balthazar gold just to break it up a little bit, to differentiate between the two. And to be fair, I think he came out quite nice. I'm putting a bit more effort into my basing. It's a combination of stuff that I got from this new model shop that's opened in the city. So that's mainly Army Painter and Warlord Games basing materials. If there's interest, I'll do another video on how I do it. But yeah, that's Old Red Eye. I'm quite happy with how he came out. Currently, I've finished all of the initial orders I've made from Oathsworn for both Burrows and Badgers, so I'm actually going to start making a new order to go out this week because I get paid on Friday, which, depending on when you're watching this video, will either be tomorrow or last week or in the way past. In any case, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and if this has interested you in any way, shape or form, please think about subscribing to the channel. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya!